Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. October 1st, 2021. Yes, we just crested over the month of September, entering October now. Fall is in the air, and here's Bitcoin putting on a very, very bullish day for to open the month. Dixie pulling back a little bit from all the excitement we've seen in prior days, and of course Traditionals, are they bottoming out? We're going to look into the markets. Alts look like a sea of green today. Man, big fake out ahead. Is this about to culminate in some kind of grand blow off top that will still result in melting faces to the downside, or is this the start of the much prophesied run to glory on new all-time highs 2021? Is this the springboard? This is the question.
Are there more questions?
No, that was actually my final thought before, of course, I pass the ball and introduce our two analysts today. Jason and Alex are with us today. How are you guys doing?
All right, thank you.
Excellent.
Doing well. Interesting to see the price action. I mean, we've almost moved a whole monthly ATR within a couple hours here, so I'll be interesting to see what kind of follow through that we get on it. I mean, it could be one of those scenarios where we get that extreme price action right at the close, and then the rest of it just wanes away. So I don't know. It's interesting for sure.
All right, yeah, we'll tackle that in a few minutes when we get into the TA segment. I'm starting to get a great deal of insight into what's going on in the marketplace with Alex at the helm today. That comes your way in about, say, 30 minutes time. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get the show started. Gonna get into the news in just a moment. How's the audio levels out there, guys? I think I'm gonna turn myself down a bit. I think I'm louder than the two analysts by a touch, so let's try it like this, shall we? Yeah, I think this will do nicely. Let me know, guys. Music too loud? Feedback always welcome. Want to make sure the audio is coming in and nice and even for everybody this Friday afternoon.
How dare you receive me?
Yes.
Okay.
Unacceptable.
I think he said, "How dare you speak over him?" Or over.
How dare you have more attention than me?
Yes, there you go. We still got to get Alex's mic. I apologize for Alex's new mic with his new laptop. We will dispatch a high quality wireless headset his way in Puerto Rico. Does Amazon have Puerto Rican warehouses and next day delivery? I certainly hope so. We got to get you that HyperX wireless.
One time, it's 5-day delivery.
5-day delivery. All right. All right. Well, we got to get him primed too. Let's go ahead and get into the news, guys. Have just a couple stories to cover today. Bitcoin edges closer to 50,000 amid mounting upside momentum. Can it sustain a bullish October norm? Yes. So historically, of course, Bitcoin and maybe markets at large, September has been kind of bearish, but we've now officially cleared the month of September. Is all the bearishness behind us? Yes, October also historically, as a consequence, I guess, of the bearishness of September, can sometimes reverse and be a bullish October for Bitcoin in history. Is this what we're seeing right now? Of course, not going to cover too much of the TA of this article because, we got our own TA experts, own crack team on the case. So I just wanted to mention that very brief blurb here. It is October. Markets might, in fact, turn over a new leaf right here. Let's have a look. Hackers exploit an MFA flaw to steal 6,000 Coinbase customers, steal funds from 6,000 Coinbase customers, according to one report. This is just another, we take security very seriously here, guys. And this is just another one illustrative of one of the many risks out there in the space, even when dealing with high-quality centralized exchanges like Coinbase. Let's get into this topic and explore a little bit. Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase has reportedly suffered another security breach after attackers were able to bypass the company's multi-factor authentication, or MFA, feature in a coordinated campaign earlier this year. The attackers stole crypto from some 6,000 accounts. Although the monetary value of the theft wasn't disclosed, and according to a report from Bleeping Computer, Coinbase reportedly notified affected customers that the theft occurred between March and May of this year. To gain access to the accounts, the attackers must have known the affected user's email address, password, and phone number. It's not clear how the attackers obtained this information. Through phishing scams, targeting exchange users is likely one way. However, Coinbase didn't identify a vulnerability in the account recovery process, or they did identify a vulnerability in the account recovery process that the attackers exploited to gain access to the accounts. Here's just a little quote describing how they did it. In the incident, for customers who use SMS text or for two-factor authentication, the third party took advantage of a flaw in Coinbase's SMS account recovery process in order to retrieve the SMS two-factor authentication token and gain access to your account. All right, well, let's see here. Did the users be made whole? Users whose accounts were probably hacked and drained the funds were unable to access support staff. Oh, wow, so just made the situation worse. I presume they were eventually made whole, though. But this is just a little reminder that, yes, two-factor authentication is very, very important, very useful to use. But I try to actually stay clear from SMS-based 2FA, because yes, your SMS can be, first off, your number can be cloned, right? Attackers can do a socially engineered attack to get your ISP or your service provider, your mobile carrier, to issue them a new SIM card. There's so many ways to kind of mess with and intercept SMS based 2FAs that it's dangerous. In this case, it was certainly exploited, and 6,000 people got hurt. Highly recommend using Google, or maybe not necessarily Google, but using an actual private key based 2FA, kind of like Google's 2FA and quite a few others. But at least I'm assuming Coinbase's insurance, little insurance fund, probably took care of this little problem. but it just goes to show you, got to stay vigilant. So many attack vectors out there. Let's continue. All right, crypto potato piece titled "Another Mainstream Media Fail." A fake Ripple press release claimed the SEC case is over. Curious, did the XRP's price fluctuate dramatically at all in the wake of this fake news story getting circulated on the mainstream media? Let's have a look. Access Wire retracts claims that Ripple and SEC have concluded their legal battle. Ripple's main lawyer says the story was false. Access Wire published a press release today claiming Ripple had finished the battle with the SEC, and the General Counsel said that this responded by saying calling the story false. Press release said, okay, blah, blah, blah. But did this really get any wide circulation? Oh, it did. It was later picked up by Yahoo Finance and shared by other users through Twitter who expressed immediate skepticism. It was then that the Ripple's general counsel caught wind of it and then responded immediately, claiming that the story was fake. Both Yahoo Finance and Access Wire removed the press release from their sites. All right. Well, maybe we check in with the chart a little later. I want to see if there was a little blip on a lower time frame. Did anybody ape into XRP thinking breaking news, Ripple's in the clear? Go figure. Always got to stay on your toes. So much fraud out here. You can't even believe the stuff you read on Yahoo Finance. Cointelegraph. Here's a piece titled "Crypto Community Concerned Over the Impact of the Infrastructure Bill on DeFi." Yes, let's check in on the infrastructure bill and this looming threat of regulation that a lot of people, I feel, aren't really on guard for. How may the $1 trillion infrastructure bill impact the thriving DeFi ecosystem and crypto community at large? Asks this article. And of course, members of the crypto community have been up in arms recently about the $1 trillion infrastructure bill that the House of Representatives is expected to vote on this week. The legislation includes a crypto tax reporting provision along with the establishment of a definition for the term broker. Yes, we have been covering this for a bit of time, and indeed it's drawing ever closer with the infrastructure bill hitting the House floor. And indeed, let's see here. Well, it really is recapping much of what we already covered, guys, and this, of course, is the idea of tax reporting, of course, right? How many transactions, or how big of a transaction, almost all transactions, how many would qualify and require reporting on every level, especially, on payment processors, and pretty much every aspect of the payment infrastructure network might suddenly be obligated to collect all types of customer data and report on it. That's obviously in stark contrast to what we talked about yesterday on the show, where that one, I think it was a French member of parliament who floated a tax bill that would make pretty much all everything under 3,000 euro payment transactions completely tax-free. That's the kind of thing we obviously need, versus one that would be completely onerous. These type of crypto tax reporting provisions that this bill is floating, along with the establishment of the term broker. Indeed, I can understand how in the world of traditional finance, a broker indeed might have to be either accredited or licensed and registered and doing their due diligence and collecting all the necessary information on every transaction. But this is the modern finance world. How can we extend archaic definitions of broker and just apply them willy-nilly to the world of blockchain and DeFi? Man, nearly anybody can be considered a broker, even maybe an open source wallet platform and so forth. It'd be highly I don't know, a challenge. It would really gum up the works if we had this kind of archaic or ham-fisted approach to regulation. But that's my spiel on this, and I guess we're looking forward to the bill this week hitting the House. Any thoughts?
I mean, I don't know if I would use the phrase "looking forward to."
Yes.
I'm not too learned on the subject matter, but I think it'd make it a lot easier than having every single transaction. It's just a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I think the idea is really simple. Some regulation is good. Too much regulation bad. That's at least how I think the space ought to be approached. Let's go ahead and get to the next piece, guys. We're going to keep it nice and chill this Friday afternoon. Let's see here. This is a piece from the BitMEX blog. Another piece here from Arthur Hayes and Alex linked in the News Pulse Premium on the Discord server, Silico and Sojourn. And let's see here. Looking back on recorded human history, becomes apparent how much luck played in circumstances of our modern existence. Readers of this blog using internet-enabled devices sitting in climate-controlled environments and discussing the best way to allocate modern access income are some of the luckiest humans on the planet. The most likely outcome of the ovarian lottery is starvation, slavery, and mindless toil. Pretty black-pilled. And or brutal combat, but, you know, very sober. We don't like to admit the role luck plays in our existence because it directly conflicts with the notion of self-determined life outcomes. However, as modern citizens of various nation-states, we strive to create level playing fields where individuals can achieve a life of plenty regardless of their birth conditions. Some countries are more successful at this than others, but in general, things are admittedly a lot better than they used to be, thanks in large part to the effective field leveling ideas spread more easily through international travel on the web. Alright, so this piece does go on and on. I could certainly read a lot of Arthur Hayes' words. Certainly is easy kind of prose to get through. But I guess the idea here is that this is, of course...
really good piece. It's just a really good piece and kind of meditation on the future of the use of metaverses and the metaverse's role in the world political situation. So, I mean, a nation state is just an idea that everybody holds in their heads and agrees on. We all agree that this governing body has power over us because of like some historical means. If we all decided to, like, for whatever reason tomorrow that wasn't true, then people would act like it wasn't true, and it wouldn't be true anymore, right? It's like governance comes from the people in that way, the will of people to be governed by a larger power. So what Arthur Hayes is talking about here is essentially that as people enter the metaverse, begin to spend more of their time in the metaverse, and identify with communities in the metaverse rather than communities at large in the real world, then that's going to, nation states are going to lose power, and they are going to most likely clamp down on the metaverses eventually. They'll have to. It's their only way to maintain power over, maintain the narrative of power over people.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, interesting read.
Yeah. So
amazingly summarized.
That's the thrust of Hayes' piece here. And then, obviously he talks about the role of decentralization and, how, communities are going to have to overcome that. It's a good piece.
Yeah, this really is a matter of governance and how blockchain will dramatically change that. And in many ways, yeah, maybe traditional governance, traditional government models, nation states, all this is maybe made obsolete in this digital
interconnected
world where you do in fact have something like blockchain-enabled networks to empower trustless societal human organization models. It's a brave new world, and it certainly is a big idea. Crazy to think that indeed in the future we may not so much identify, the average human on Earth may not so much identify with any kind of nation state. Heck, maybe in nation states will all be defunct. It's all going to be private DAOs and private corporations that maybe you subscribe to. I'm
a member of the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had my first trip to Decentraland yesterday.
You are? Bored Ape Yacht Club killed my family. No.
Yeah, Jason.
I saw one of those bastards go for 75 ETH yesterday.
Wow. So
Just
Jason,
crazy.
are you ready to revoke your U.S. citizenship and become a member of the Decentraland Bored Ape DAO? What do you think?
You're gonna have to show me some perks to that. I think I'll hold off for now. I get exactly where Alex is going.
I hear their medical coverage is excellent, so pretty soon, pretty soon the private benefits might be so luxurious, so well appointed that you will in fact.
And I can actually go to the doctor and get some shit fixed. Yeah, then sign me up.
That'd be crazy. That may be the future of what some of these projects, some of these organizations, some of these communities are going. Maybe it will be a DAO where some of the royalties get diverted into like social projects, like welfare or medical care and so on and so forth. Right? It's crazy to think, but it's could be a possibility.
This is one of those things that I think a lot of people underthink the possibilities because there's so many that it's like almost unthinkable. But like I'm excited to see where that goes, right?
Yep. No, this is pretty much digitizing, governance and like legalese, right? Legal structures. So, you're kind of distilling, boardrooms and legal experts and, kind of power. I guess how power is kind of built into these corporate structures. You're kind of digitizing all of that and kind of automating a good deal of it. Pretty crazy times we live in, and I highly encourage you guys to check the description after the show. I'm gonna have a link to all these stories, like this BitMEX piece here from Arthur Hayes. One more piece here. Ripple buries SEC in paperwork. The XRP lawsuit, nearly 30,000 requests filed. Let's have a look. I guess this is one way to fire back at the government lawyers. The SEC is seeking a protective order relieving the SEC of any obligation to respond to the over 29,000 requests for admission by the defendants during the final 6 hours of fact discovery on August 31st. The plaintiff argues that these requests impose an extreme, disproportionate, and unnecessary burden on the agency. The agency also reminded the judge that courts routinely disallow much less burdensome and excessive requests on the grounds that they are, quote, abusive, unreasonable, and oppressive. The SEC also informed the court spent more than 100 hours responding to just 254 requests. So at this rate, the plaintiff would need over 473 days to complete the task of almost 30,000 requests. The attorney on behalf of the SEC's request for protective order said 30,000 requests for admission is an astonishing number, and I serve around 25 to 30 at most. Wow, so it's like 1,000x the normal number that one would expect. But indeed, this is how one gets buried in an avalanche of paperwork. This is what the legal teams get paid to do. It's like that Hollywood trope, right? When the expensive villain, the villain with the expensive legal team, threatens you. It threatens your little firm, your little legal counsel, with a mountain of paperwork, and your lawyer bugs out. This is, I guess, the equivalent of that. Rest in peace, SEC.
He waited too long to take on Ripple. Ripple's a multi-billion-dollar behemoth. They can afford just as many lawyers as it takes to just bury them, as you see, bury them in paperwork and make them just wish they had never been. So I fully expect Ripple to eventually come out on top of this lawsuit somehow, either with a slap on the wrist or just by outright winning. That's clearly written on the wall, I think.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, that's it for the news today, guys. How we doing on time? 1:30. Lovely. I think we've done pretty good. Let's go ahead and get into the next segment. What's going on in bubbles? Alt space hella green. And some of these bubbles are
Nice.
Yeah, some of these bubbles are jacked. AXS is up nearly 33% today. ICX.
That's more like crypto.
That's what I'm talking about. Sound bullish for you, or is this just the fake out of the year?
I don't know. I honestly do not know right now. I mean, it could go either way, to be honest with you.
I can't wait to check on the Bitcoin dominance, especially after yesterday's look. But let's keep going here. eGold. eGold is up a little over 18%. VeChain up same, a little over 18. Rev's up 20%. Solana's up 15% today. Serum's up 15%. And a smattering of other tokens are up double digits, 10% or more, and quite a few others up a little over 5% as well. So it's a very, very green day in the alt space. DYDX, a little bit of profit taking. I think it had a smashing last couple of days though. So DYDX is about the only loser I see here. Everything else, hella green. Feels good. To see this kind of pump on the table, but I wonder how many people are going to be FOMOing in and getting slapped in the face when this whole move fails. But we'll save that type of FUD analysis for the next few minutes. Let's get into the live chat. Let's see who's with us this afternoon. Where does everyone stand today? Taking a look at B-Flow first in the chat. Ron Legato, I see you as well. Daniel saying it's Friday. Indeed, TGIF. Profit Bear. Oh man, what a pump! Just in time too. Just in time to what? Get you out of your long break even, so you could ride this thing back down. Mr. Ether, Robert Warner, what's the monthly ATR? Did we hit 1 ATR already? I think Jason said earlier that yeah, we're talking what monthly ATR.
Yeah, we've already hit almost a monthly ATR within the day. So
shit, that's
wild.
pretty serious. Let's have a look here. I stayed up way too late last night waiting for Bitcoin to break the wedge pattern. Cavano, yeah, let me guess you
Can't be doing that, man.
David Rice, hey all, it's a great Friday. Let's own this. Indeed. Cavano trades covered my Cardano short though, so I'm happy about that. Alright. Very cool. Okay, so Cavano trades covered his Cardano short despite staying up all night. Profit Bear, hype day for sure. Very nice. David Rice, let's get him rolled up for the weekend. A pack of bowl or two for the show. Yes, David Rice, the eternal toker. Welcome back to the chat, my man. It's going to be a great weekend for some of us. Hope I'm on the right side of this. All right. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you do end up on the right side of the market. Cavano trades. I just noticed my monthly time transformation is extremely good at entering Bitcoin before the major moves and exiting before major dumps. Well, Cavano trades, tell us, what is your monthly TT say right now for Bitcoin? B-Flow, looks like you still got to get to 54 to get 1 ATR on the monthly. All right. Franklin MC, good morning. Pump before the storm. Could be. Shoutouts to Franklin MC. Jonah, love the show. Thought I was late, just in time. Is everybody okay? Look at those lovely green bubbles. Yes, we are certainly okay. Thank you, Jonah. Welcome back to the show. B-Flow, although I'm looking at the monthly candles, that looks an awful lot like the 2013-14 high, lower high, and then poof. Okay, maybe it is like the 2013 to 14 cycle. Profit Bear, well, I'm sitting long. Such a strong start to October. Indeed, it is a nice start to October. What a way to open. Profit Bear, I had to FOMO LMAO. Wow. Hope you FOMO'd at a good entry before today's move to the upside, but who knows? Maybe you boarded the train just in time. Shout out to Profit Bear. Polly B is here writing lovely Green Friday. Yeah, lovely Green Friday to you, Polly B. Ooh, Justin Wise joins us in the live chat. The famous Justin Wise coming through the YouTube doors. Big pumps. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Justin Wise, for your comment. Everybody bigging up Justin Wise in the comments. Profit Bear, Bitcoin did the thing. Yes, Bitcoin did the thing. Van Frick on DLive, don't get erected. We are going down below 30. I mean, stop. You're gonna ruin a good thing here. Yes, Van Frick with the fully on board still with the Jason thesis of a bloody correction. Hold on to your hats. Jose Alves, shout outs to you on DLive. Justin Weiss says it's good to be a hodler. Right on. B-Flow took the.
And you don't gotta worry about price action. If it moves up, it moves up. Yay.
That's more or less my camp, guys. B-Flow took the 3-hour XRP trade yesterday. Shout outs to B-Flow. Congrats on the 3-hour XRP. Nick K, can we take a look at Ohm, please? And thank you. Yeah, I'll add Ohm to the request line. I think that's the first request of the day. Profit Bear, dang, like 10 viewers on YouTube. I'm bullish on CC. Well, you know, our YouTube numbers aren't super strong, but that's okay. We still got a great audience, great following, and we look to improve.
Elevating at the lows. That's all.
That's all. Yep. We're looking to springboard to greatness in the coming months from here, guys. We won't let you down. B-Flow logged in on my phone. All right. Franklin MC, fear fogs perception. Fear fogs perception indeed. A lot of people pretty scared. The fear was really high at highs this week, wasn't it?
People fearing that they're gonna miss out on getting in right now.
It's funny how fear
works both ways, baby. It's designed to fuck with you.
Wow.
I think all markets are designed for this.
cuts both ways.
Why they
Insane.
work so well.
Kavana Trades, first glimpse at blockchain meeting government governance I had was voting in Catalyst in the Cardano ecosystem. Yeah, very cool. I think my first experience was doing that on EOS. Kavana Trades, I think people will slowly realize they can submit proposals for many things that governments are neglecting. Yeah, certainly. B-Flow, I'm in on the Lonely Frog Lambo Club. Okay. Lonely Frog Lambo Club are you spoofing NFTs in general, or is that literally NFT?
That's gonna be a certain NFT project.
Because at this point it's impossible to tell, right? You can't tell if somebody's just trolling you with a made-up NFT name, or if it's an actual, real made-up NFT.
Well, I mean, it's not even as bad as the RC20 shitcoin names. Don't forget Cum Rocket.
Or Cum Rocket, yeah.
Wow, that's
always gonna be one of the worst.
Didn't even come with a graphic. Yes, indeed. NFTs have a big edge up over these things. Let's see here. B-Flow, if you guys need a bud, let me know. Yeah, maybe after the show. Jason, I'll have one. Indeed. David Rice says, I'll take one too. Jonah, love the show, seconds of that. Long Solana at 121. Nice. Well, congrats. Jonah, love the show. Sounds like you logged Solana at the right spot. Crypto AF 2017. What's up, brothers? Ethereum's pumping like Arnold in the 70s. Yes, a nice 10%. Nice 10%. Is that the same documentary where he's smoking spliffs after the workout to chill out? Yeah, respect to smoking.
Talk about how every time he lifts weights, it's like he's coming.
Oh, that's that too. Yeah. So shout outs to Arnold. Arnold getting off and smoking spliffs, Long Beach, California, in the 70s. B-Flow, he is a joker. He is a smoker. He is a midnight toker, indeed. Some of these guys don't wait till midnight though. B-Flow, I'm short from 48.8. Let's go down to 30, baby. I'm ready. All right, B-Flow ready to take this thing way down. Dark Rico, fear is the mind killer. Yes, you gotta alleviate all fear. Be like the Jedi, the wise Master Yoda. Jag077.
Oh, dude, it's not from Star Wars.
It's all from Star Wars. The hell are you talking about?
This is Star Wars.
All future.
I think RUNE was written before Star Wars. I'm not sure.
Trump made a Space Force. Star Wars is real.
You clearly didn't read the opening credits, right? It says in a galaxy long time ago. It's clearly
far away. Yeah,
precedes all popular media, all human, all known human
and
literature.
They don't even
culture.
have an iPhone. They still wear robes.
It's like pre-antiquity, bro. And you're talking, whatever. Let's keep Obi-Wan stirring in his force grave. Let's have a look. Shout out to Mike Maker, Dark Rico, and in my mind, MF. Howdy y'all. Smoke all day. Oh my god, guys, we've been invaded by the 420 Club. It's time to shut it down. That's the last comment for today. We are gonna get in to the TA right here, right now. Let's do it. Alex, be so kind. Let's go live. Let's keep today's ball rolling. Shout outs to I guess all the smokers this Friday. Oh, it's really Spaceballs, says Prophet Bear. Yes.
Oh, that's more like it. We're living in some kind of weird satire world.
Yeah, it's like that meme. It's like how you thought, Star Wars and how it's going. Spaceballs. That's my life right now. All right.
Comb the desert.
That cracked me up as a kid. I love that.
You guys found anything? We ain't found shit.
All right, guys. Enough tomfoolery. We got to get into it. Currently synced up to Alex's screen here, looking at the BitMEX daily. You got the helm. I'm gonna go into the live chat and start getting everybody's requests. You know what to do. I'll be back.
Okay, guys. So this is a very strong move. I am not looking to short into this move right now. There's not a lot we can do with this big movement. We kind of need a pullback, and I expect that when we look at a lot of charts today, we're going to look at charts that look bullish, but that need a pullback before we're going to be really ready to enter them.
Yeah, we've moved
as
well.
Jason suggested, today is it's a really, overall bullish move. We're back above the daily baseline. We've broken the downtrend, which is something that we've been looking for here. We're just a little past the qualifying line, but other than that, we're actually in long territory for Bitcoin already. We're above zero on our oscillator here. We're above the daily baseline. We just crossed the daily baseline, and WAD is already firing off. We certainly have enough volatility and momentum here. We're just a little overextended today. Let's take a look. What's the exact value of our baseline qualifying line? Looks like looks like the qualifying line's back at 46,785. So I think we can reasonably expect some sort of pullback here, maybe towards 45K. We retest that from the top. That's where I'd be looking to try and enter this bullish movement here on Bitcoin, because otherwise we'll have to miss this long here. It's just it's already extended past where we would be able to enter.
Yeah, I agree. Especially with my baseline, it's like 3 ATR above it.
For now, with the 3-day cross up here, I think we can at least push up towards 50K again. I see some nice volume on our BPVR, suggesting that we can move up there. Maybe even make a new high. I would be surprised if we did, but I'm willing to be wrong here on how bearish I've been. You guys know that I always have a tendency to be overly bearish when things get rough. So, we'll take the longs that are presented to us in this spot, and we'll just make money if price goes up. And otherwise, if price gets sold into again, then we'll go in extra hard on our shorts. Confident in the fact that Bitcoin and alts took it on the face after a very bullish movement off of the bottom.
Yep. If it can't
so
go
I
up,
think
it goes
it's probably the best way to approach the situation. Let's go ahead and look at Ethereum here. This is not yet a long for us.
WADA doesn't like it.
Checking out VPVR, the top of the trading range here is really around 3,500, 3,550. So Ethereum could continue moving up here too. Where's our downtrend? Broken downtrend. Okay. This is what we wanted. So we really need to close above the daily baseline, hold here, but stay underneath the qualifying line. And I think tomorrow we'll be able to long Ethereum here in this spot. Let's go ahead and let's look at the broader crypto markets. Bitcoin dominance, we are finally starting to get a move off of the bottom here. This is what we've been expecting for the last few weeks. If there was any place we were going to find support on Bitcoin dominance, it was this spot. Otherwise, it was going to be radically different for alts. But I think what this chart is telling us is that whether price breaks down here or goes up here, Bitcoin is probably going to do better than most of the alts in this spot. And we see that today. Bitcoin is up. Bitcoin's up 8.5% today, but a lot of the alts, privacy alts, exchange, mid caps, major alts, they are bullish and they're close to giving us long signals, a lot of them, but they're not as strong as Bitcoin is. See, Bitcoin's above its daily baseline. Here we are inside of it for mid perp. Here we are inside of the daily baseline for shit perp. Not above zero on our oscillator. Exchange perp, we haven't even really broken the downtrend here. I'll suggest that it probably could, but overall, I'm just, I'm not excited about the alts in this spot, with maybe the exception of Uniswap alts. Uniswap perp is up 10% today, and if there's any place we could expect a movement, a bullish movement, it's this retest of the previous all-time high for Uniswap perp. I don't dislike this spot. This is actually kind of bullish looking on the 3-day. Look at that.
Off that shelf, yeah. You could even, yeah, I could see a higher high off of that.
Yeah. Okay. At the very least, I think we can retest the highs here. I think we were talking a bit about this yesterday. We were just overextended from the daily baseline to the downside. It'd be nice to kind of come up, retest this area before we continue the move down. Okay, world markets. Now, we don't really need to guess because Jack already talked about it at the beginning of the show, but usually when the markets are up this strongly, that means the Dixie is down, right? That's pretty strong inverse correlation we have in this market. Let's take a look. Market super up and Dixie down. Congratulations on a fantastic technical setup, Jason. You nailed this. Ascending wedge.
Yeah. It really shocked me with that move that we did. I mean, maybe it just goes to show you that maybe we just couldn't break that level of 40. People are just too bullish on Bitcoin. But that move up there, I'm shocked that we did not break back below that 40K range on that move.
What 40K range? We're looking into Dixie. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know, but with the Dixie making that big move, Bitcoin didn't give back very much off that move, which shocked me.
Oh, no, I suppose it didn't. I agree. I think it's likely that we'll pull back towards 93, the 93-ish range here. Either this box in particular, or maybe just this level at 93.25. But that's it. Like we broke out of this bottom trading range, so I imagine we'll trade in this range for a while before continuing upwards here on the Dixie. Maybe we could trade sideways here for another 2 to 3 months on the Dixie before the market breaks down. Maybe that's what we'll see. Either way, we were sort of expecting a pullback in this spot with horizontal resistance at 94.5 and this ascending broadening wedge that Jason identified back in early September. We had nice confluence here, and I think ultimately we're getting that. We're getting that pullback.
Yep.
All right, dollar down, traditional markets up, right? Okay. So far, this is what we were expecting. Things were a little overextended to the downside yesterday. We're looking for a retest of resistance here. I've added this downtrend. This line was not on our chart yesterday, but I was looking at the chart earlier today, and I just wanted to keep track of where the downtrend was. All right, so we can push down, move sideways, move up a little bit more, but ultimately, I think we break down here on the Dow Jones. I would be very shocked if we moved upwards here.
Yeah, me too. Like I said yesterday, that'll really shock me if we break up from there, make a higher high.
Dow Jones kind of piercing this area of support that we've been eyeing. Push down into it. We find buyers that right there. I think we're likely to move up towards 370 on the QQQ and find rejection at that spot. Okay. If we do get that, we'll fire a second volley into this second volley of shorts into this pattern, and then look to take that to the downside. S&P just a little too bearish, I guess. We've got plenty of room here to push up and still hold the downtrend. We'll see what happens with it. I expect more downside. All right, world markets. Gold still kind of hanging on by a thread. I don't know how I feel about this. I just wouldn't do anything in this spot, especially below the daily baseline. Silver still hanging out underneath support. I don't really want it here.
Someone's trying to save silver.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Mike Maloney?
Palladium, I still say this is an area to be taking profits, not looking to short hard into this.
You already crushed it. It's fine.
Yes, we did crush it. We all saw this coming in like May and June. This is not a surprise if you've been watching the show. We've been watching Palladium eagerly for months now. Beautiful short.
You should start dating them.
Yes, I would look for a pullback on this bearish movement all the way towards 2200 on Palladium, and then look for sellers to step back in and that order block, and time for short number 2 in that spot. Probably all the way back down to retest the bottom of this trading range at that point. So let's just go ahead and kind of update our TA here, what we're expecting. It's up into this area, rejection, go to hell.
Extend your trend line out on the top, because I bet it bounces right off of that. It could be a quick move. It could be a quick movement like that, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we do have a point of control all the way at 2400. Maybe we actually move to the point of control and then reject. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I like this order block here. So platinum. We really do seem to be finding support all the way down here around $950. Let's get rid of this line right here. Got too many lines. Can't see what's happening. Okay. To me, I see this as a broken 3-day downtrend. We're now back on the other side of the trend and starting to trade sideways through the 3-day baseline. I would suggest this is maybe a good time to look to long platinum back towards 1100 at least.
Yeah.
I would take it up into this area.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'd put my first take profit on that one if I'm playing that longer term.
All right, this is now the area that we're eyeing. Yada, yada, yada. Something like that. Copper. Haha. I told you we weren't going to break down from this spot. All right, so at this point, we're likely looking for a move for copper to retest the top of its trading range, especially with this fake out below support that we had yesterday. This seems almost guaranteed now. We'll wait on the break and the movement over our daily baseline, but this looks like a slam dunk long on copper futures.
Could you? I mean, no, never mind. I was gonna say, could you find a trend break on a lower time frame that could give you an entry? But
yeah, why bother? I mean, I would either buy the reversal now or wait for the break. There's not like a lower time frame thing because we're still inside the pattern.
Yeah.
Beautiful continuation long opportunity on Brent crude oil. I would take this long in a heartbeat. This looks like fresh highs. I'd take it to at least $85. Corn still below our trend line. Not ready to long it yet, but I like this long opportunity. I would much rather be long than short here. If we zoom out, you can take a look at, so this is our retest of the local point of control. Retest, retest, retest. Start to move upwards, break up, retest the highs right here. Natural gas, very strong pullback again today. I think if we look at the 3-day, this trend is just a little topped out right now. I don't want to do anything with this anymore. We'll wait for a strong pullback on natural gas. Soybeans, this is why you wait for the break of trend. Thought for sure it was going to move up here. but it never broke the trend. We never took the long, and it broke down.
I like how it says waiting for break.
Yep. Wheat looks like a phenomenal long opportunity on higher time frames. We weren't sure. It looked like it was going to break down below this uptrend here, but now this is very strong looking. Let's look on the monthly here. Wheat's going to go parabolic. Oh my gosh. So
What's
we
gonna
seem to
happen
be
to wheat?
holding very strongly over $7 here. $7 is the monthly resistance. Next resistance is $9.
We're gonna have some intense storms or something that ruins the wheat supply.
Good question. Maybe it'll be another Derecho or Derecho or whatever it's called.
I'm so pissed I missed that. I was in Tennessee. It ripped my porch door off and threw my grill through a tree.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah, my neighbor called me. He's like, "Hey, your back door's gone." I'm like, "What?"
Looking on the weekly, this looks like a beautiful spot to start taking profits on our short. So we'll take profits here, kind of at the bottom of this trading range. At this point, I would expect us to come back up and retest resistance. It can't be all down. We're going to get some upwards movement right here, some more sideways here before we get any more downside, I believe. What's our downtrend in this spot?
It's pretty significant. And then you have
Yeah, see, we're a little extended away from the downtrend. I'd like to see us come back up and retest it, but do some more sideways. Maybe back up in this area. As we seem to be finding a lot of buyers in this order block around 7,150. China, I still think it makes more sense to be a buyer in this area than a seller. You know, as of right now, as far as I'm concerned, we're finding support on the previous resistance of previous all-time high resistance that we had in 2015, 2018, and 2020. If we fall below this level, I would consider going short again. But until then, I think this is a good low-risk long opportunity. France, I think France could have more downside here. I don't feel as strongly about the upside potential on France as I do on some of the others. We'll just keep our eyes on it. I wouldn't do much with it. Singapore, near the lows of the trading range. I wouldn't do anything with it right here. Could be a baseline bounce long opportunity. Hong Kong is beginning to look a lot like a reversal. We have broken the more parabolic downtrend right here. We can look at this as a parabolic downtrend. See, trend, stronger trend. There's probably too many lines on this for you to visually understand what's happening here.
I like it.
I mean, I like lines too. Okay. It's not time to do anything with Hong Kong. This kind of looks like an even better short opportunity than what we shorted before. So see, higher high, higher high. Wait a second. Lower high? Lower high? Wait, where'd our momentum go? It's gone, man. That momentum's gone. This is an area that you look to short into. This is a beautiful low risk short opportunity. I would actually be willing to pull the trigger a second time here.
Let's get it to ludicrous speed.
And then if we pop back up over this area, we dump both our shorts. Very low risk here to add on to our position, because it would popping up over this downtrend, popping up over this horizontal resistance would immediately invalidate our short thesis, and we would know to get out. We wouldn't have to, just kind of be dragged screaming upwards while we wonder whether or not, like, oh, maybe it can still pull back. We don't need to worry about it, because we've got this very clear spot where we can enter and know whether or not our trade thesis is right. So I like this. I say we're gonna lean into UK going down here. If for no other reason, then the setup makes sense. I do want to point out that we have crossed under here. Time transformation certainly likes this to fall more, but we'll see. For India 50, I would look for a continuation short of some kind and then lean hard into that now that we've finally broken this parabolic uptrend on the India 50. It's been quite a trend here, but we did it. We broke this. We've got a weekly exit signal on time transformation, and this week closes in 2.5 hours. So we may get some daily bullish movement here, but I expect the weekly trend to take over and pull us to the downside here on the India 50. So that is most likely the best case, the best way to approach this particular chart. Japan keeps pulling back. I told you to dump this at resistance. This is actually a spot where you could potentially look to buy a reversal. We become grossly overextended from our daily baseline to the downside. I would look to come up and mean revert here. We need to literally revert back to our average, which we have moved so far away from. Just way too oversold.
I think that's a great low risk opportunity.
Yeah, I would be a buyer here, and if we went lower, I would still be a buyer as we approached this support resistance area. Support resistance. Anything in this area, I would take it all the way back towards 3,000, 33,000, 30. Netherlands, lower high, lower low. We're just going to try and stay short. I think we can bounce a little bit here with the rest of the markets, maybe move back up towards 785. If that happened and we started to curl back under, we'll short that shit a second time. What's next?
Well, what's next could be actual requests. See, we are at the top of the hour.
We're almost done.
All right, Friday, do your thing. We don't have too many requests, so we can certainly indulge a little longer in world markets.
Okay. Sideways today on Taiwan index. This chart looks like AIDS. I hope you guys are short this. This is just so obviously going down. This is financial advice if you live in Taiwan. Sell your stocks.
Go into yen or rubles or whatever you got.
US 30 finding some support here at the order block we've been eyeing. I think we'll look for more sideways in this spot. We could end up just a little bit underwater on this short, but I'm not too worried. Ultimately, this chart looks very weak to me. Time transformation doesn't like it much either. Our weekly baseline, as you can see, there's so much bearish confluence here on the Wall Street 30. I would take any bounces as opportunities to short. Okay. Let's look at chart requests. What we got today?
All right, chart request time it is. Let's get right into it. Gonna load the first request up on the screen now, and we're gonna open the DLive test.
I forgot to bring it together for everybody.
What's up?
So things have been bearish in my overall, for traditional markets at least, my bearishness is not erased. Everything still looks very bad on weekly time frames. we could still bounce over the next couple of weeks as we sort of alleviate our oversold status that we see on a lot of different markets that we looked at. So I think the longs that we see in crypto, I'm going to take those long opportunities here, and we'll see where the markets go. But I am not convinced that the markets are done pulling back in this spot. And if we need to go short again, we'll go short again. So that's where I'm at, guys.
All right, brilliant. Let's in fact get into the first request of the day. Gonna put that up on the screen right now. Here we go. Gonna start with Nick K's request on YouTube. He writes, "Can we take a look at Ohm, please, and thank you." Sure can. Ohm is up next.
Let's use ChartX. Let's try this one. Yeah. I don't think I would be a buyer in this spot. So this level has previously been resistance, support, resistance again. Now we're finding some resistance in this spot. This is a logarithmic chart, and so far this has been a exponential trend. Now, if you're not long, I would not long this spot. But if you're still long, I wouldn't exit yet as long as we're holding this uptrend. If we break it, then I would look to exit my position. But for right now, I just Ohm could continue. Ohm could pull back. It's not super clear in this spot. But with the way resistance is, I would be eyeing potentially a breakdown from here. What's next?
All right, big shout outs to Nick K over on YouTube for the look at Ohm. We got another request up next. It's Jag77 on DLive. Would you please take a look at Axie, AXS? Sure can.
Infinity.
Oh, wow. So yesterday we were discussing that Axie looked as if it was a decent long opportunity. I thought it could go towards at least $80. Clearly, I underestimated Axie's ability to continue here. So Axie is making a new all-time high. At this rate, I would suggest that it's probably good to buy into this. I would wait for a pullback towards $85 if you could get it. Anywhere between $85, $88 would be nice. But, generally speaking, anytime something goes into price discovery, it's usually a good idea to buy it and just, hang on for a wild ride. Let's turn off log here. Here's a great example of, despite how bearish I was, the chart just did something else. What's next, guys?
All right, shout outs to Jag for the look at Axie. Let's go ahead and get into the next request. And yeah, maybe 5 minutes to go for that DLive chest. Get your lemons in now. I'm going to go proceed to stocking the chest. Right after I introduce this request for Polly B, wants to look at RUNE, please. Vthor.
RUNE and Vthor? Okay.
Oh, sorry. I meant Thorchain as in RUNE. The request is a solitary RUNE.
Okay. This isn't a bad spot to... I think we talked about this. It's not as bad spot to look for a reversal. But I'm not convinced that we have the reversal yet. We haven't broken the downtrend, although it looks like we're going to. And we haven't crossed above the daily baseline, although it looks like we're going to. I would just wait for for more out of Rune. And then if we got more, if we did close above the baseline, we started getting a long opportunity. I would love to take it back towards $12. There's even some interesting volume up in around $14. See right here. But for right now, it's not time yet. I'm not convinced. So, what's next?
All right, there was the look at Rune for Poly B. Big shouts to Poly B on this Friday afternoon. The famous Poly B. Your request is crossed off the list. Let's get into the next one. It's Mike Maker wants to look at BitTorrent token.
We're going to see a lot of charts that look just like this. Admittedly, I kind of like this setup. Let's look at this from this angle. See this little order block right here. Push down into it, fall below it. Accumulation inside of the order block. Here we are again, touching down into it. It's still not a long on our system, but this did break the downtrend. I don't see why we couldn't at least continue back towards 4.5 cents, which is a good 33% move. This is very volatile. This is probably a long opportunity, but it's not a long opportunity on my system yet. If you had a faster moving average or maybe like a slower, even a slower oscillator, then maybe you could be in it right now. Yeah, I would suggest to you that it's probably a long opportunity, but maybe you should just wait a little bit and wait for all our instruments to catch up. But yeah, it's up to you, man. What's next?
All right, shout outs to, once again, to Mike Maker. BitTorrent token request also in the bag for this Friday. Let's get into this next one for Van Frick of the DLive chat. It's, let's see here. Give me just 1 second. I do need to zoom in a little more and get this message in the frame. Van Frick writes, can Alex do a quick Tron look? And also an NEBL. Nebula, it's time. He hit the top correct last time on NEBL. Let's ask the crystal eyes of Alex again. Yes, the crystal ball. That is Alex Pearson. Tron
I
first.
cannot deny my amazing and intense skill. It's true. So here on Tron, I really don't like where we are. This doesn't look the same as a lot of the other charts we looked at. A lot of the ones that we were looking for reversals were near their lows, and Tron is not near the lows. Tron is actually right underneath resistance.
I was gonna say that looks like buying at resistance.
Yeah. So I don't like this spot. I don't like Tron here. I would look for some kind of rejection from this area. If we got it, I would take the continuation short. That being said, if we do break up here, I would look towards 15 cents to be our resistance level. Right up here. I like this spot. So I don't want to suggest that we couldn't move up to there. I think it's much more likely that we break down more on Tron. Let's look at the Bitcoin pairing on Tron, actually.
Yeah, that looks pretty bad.
I don't like it that much.
Yeah, I don't either. You could dance around in that space, but
Okay, one moment. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. All right, what's next? It was Tron, and what was the other one?
It was
NEBL?
Yep, NEBL. Is that Nebula? What is that short for?
Nebel.
Neblio.
Neblio, that's the one.
It's not a bad place on the Bitcoin pairing. We do have a break of the downtrend here. Not quite along on my system, but we do also have a break of the downtrend. Or do we?
Not quite.
We don't quite have a break of this downtrend. I would say this is not the time to long NEBL. We are almost at a long opportunity. We're overextended. We're below zero on our oscillator. And Wadatar is just not quite above the dead zone. It's just not quite there. Let's look for some kind of pullback. See if we can get a baseline bounce long opportunity. It's just continuation long off of a retest of the baseline and our point of control right here. And that could make sense for a long opportunity. But right now, I wouldn't touch it yet. What's next?
All right, getting into the next request. In fact, what I neglected to do is, well, we got to get that DLive chest prepared to go this week, and let's do it. Let's drop some lemons in here right now, guys. I will be preparing to open the chest in about 60 seconds, so here is your formal heads up, DLivians. Get ready for that. All right, introduce the next request, opening the chest right after. What do we have here? We kind of got to the bottom of the list. We surely have something else to look at. Oh, we do, in fact. It's BNB for Daniel of the YouTube chat.
Okay, just one moment.
Yep, take your time. I'm going to go get the DLive chest ready to deploy. Get ready.
At BNB USDT, just a little too overextended for us. Otherwise, our system kind of likes it. We're not quite above zero on our oscillator. I might consider sneaking us in if we weren't overextended above the qualifying line. If we were still under it, I would consider taking this, and I could foresee us moving at least back towards $450, $400, $460. There's just nothing for us to do in this spot. We need a pullback. We need a pullback, and then to take the continuation long. For now, I don't. If we do continue to move up, I don't dislike $500 as the next potential resistance area, and then if we break that, I'd be looking for 600. Right here, resistance, resistance, resistance. It's a good spot. What's next?
All right, what is next, in fact, is a big shout out to the winners of today's DLive Lemon giveaway. Franklin MC, first place with 87 lemons. Polly B with 50. Mike Maker, Van Frick, and PDD63 rounding out the 3, 4, and 5 spot. All right, big congrats to our DLive users is in order. There are your Friday lemons. Thanks again, guys. Let's have a look here. What else can I add? GBU Professor Wally came through with a $5 super chat on YouTube requesting file USD for Coinbase long-term hold. Okay. FIL USD on Coinbase long-term hodl entry.
Well, we're going to look on something besides Coinbase because Coinbase does not have all the data. But just have all the data. There we go. See a lot of resistance overhead. Okay. Okay, broken downtrend. That's good. Strongly broken downtrend. Look at the lower time frames. It's clear. We did break that. I think I would be at least willing to take this up towards $90. You can see very interesting order block here at resistance, resistance here, resistance, resistance. I like to see this area retest. This is sort of like the top of our trading range. Okay. Yeah, I would try and take Filecoin back up to $90. Get out of my long at that point, and then wait to see what happens. Resistance, resistance. Yeah, $90 is very strong resistance in the past, as you can see. Then above there, it's blue skies for low volume nodes. What's next?
All right, there you have it, guys. There is your look at File USD. Shoutouts to GBU Professor Wally for that $5 super chat once more. Let's get into the next request. Profit Bear wants to look at CRO and ICP. Let's start with CRO.
Oh.
Yeah,
Looks like we're directly inside of resistance right now. I would suggest this is probably the spot I would be trying to short into rather than trying to long into.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, that looks like a spot short.
Yeah. Okay. And if we close back above 18 cents, I would be willing to take it up towards 20, 21 cents. But I still feel that we're likely to have this move down here. It's just, we've broken the uptrend. We're below our daily baseline. Sure, we got a little overextended to the downside. Now we're back inside of resistance. I would want to take this lower. What was the second request?
We had ICP for Profit Bear.
Insane clown posse it is.
Sure is.
I see fucking P in that.
Gotta love how these order blocks always get retested. Look at that.
Eventually.
Yep. Broken down trend like we've seen on a lot of charts right here. Okay, I'm willing to take this at least back towards $65. Ultimately, I do want to see it come back down to retest the lows around 33 or 35. Hit this order block one more time. But as far as like now that we've broken this downtrend, I think there's upside potential in the near term back up towards 65. And I think that makes the most sense. And then boom. So something like that. Get just like a full accumulation pattern going. We think of this as a selling climax, an automatic reaction. Let's look at this. Let's look at this as potentially an accumulation area. All right, so this is one without a spring. I think this could make the most sense. Where's the... Damn you. All right. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. Nope, nope, nope. These look pretty similar. So here we've got a selling climax. The automatic reaction right off of the bottom. We get a secondary test at the bottom. You know what? Let's just get rid of all these lines. Let's just start over. Selling climax. Automatic reaction. Secondary test of the lows. New lines for us. So happy we got new lines. So now we're waiting for some last points of supply and then a movement upwards into a sign of strength. If this isn't the last point of supply and we do make a new low, then we should instead be looking for this type with more of a after a secondary test with the spring. So that would give us one more new low right here. Ultimately, what I'm saying is that I think this is a good area to be a buyer of ICP in general. Now, I don't know if we might not burn off another 50% and drop towards $30. But overall, if you're buying for the long term, I don't think this is a bad location. I think that what we're seeing is accumulation in this spot. What's next?
All right, well, that was an extended look at ICP. Here we are. Well, it's nearly time to end the show. Let's knock out a request or two more because we have a few left. Maybe I'll name the remaining requests on the board. We'll have Alex pick his lot of the litter. Let me see here. O-Beam wants to look at RGT, whatever RGT is. Ask about my wiener dog wants to look at E-Gold and FTM. Profit Bear wants to look at AMP and T-Fuel. And finally, in my mind, MF wants to look at ALGO and Tezos.
Pick two.
You want me to pick two?
I mean, I haven't looked at any of those charts. You pick two. I don't know what they look like.
All right. What do you say we do Phantom and Algo?
Right.
Phantom it is for Ask About My Wiener Dog.
Well, this looks like it's holding our uptrend. It's breaking the downtrend. Let's just wait until we get above the daily baseline, but I think most likely this is going to be into new all-time highs for Phantom. That's what this kind of looks like here. What's next?
Algo.
This is a good place to be looking for a long opportunity on Algo. This is the previous all-time high right here. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Support, support. Broken downtrend. Not quite broken downtrend, but I imagine we will break the downtrend in this spot. This isn't a bad place to look for a reversal, and then if we close back below $1.75 on the daily again, I would look to get out. And at that point, we'd probably head all the way back down towards maybe 85 cents or so. Retest the bottom of the trading range. Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at, 90 minutes into the show. It's half past the hour.
Your microphone sounds like, oh, it's just so awful.
That's very odd. How about now? That better?
Yeah. Better, yeah.
Hopefully, yes. But yeah, it's half past the hour. We got to get out of here. It's been a fantastic Friday edition, and, well, it's been a fantastic week in general. certainly did enjoy hosting the show all this week. Shout outs to Jason and Alex who held it down on the TA front, as well as everybody who makes the show happen. Everybody from Mr. Ether to Crypto Bull who does the timestamps, Payday, Dark Rico, everyone who moderates and holds it down on the server front. Big shout outs to all the super chats, like the ones from GB Professor Wally, and all the diamonds that come through on DLive throughout the week, like this one we got from Franklin MC saying pay it forward. Thank you for that diamond on DLive, does help a lot. And that's it. Be sure to also check out premium.krakencryptocurrency.com, guys. Do check out our education material. If you do want to help support what we do here, you can do so, of course, through checking out some of our premium offerings. See what suits you, what you might need to boost your strategies as a trader. But this is about it. Let me just hide this and put this on the screen, and we're going to be getting out of here. So yeah, had a great week, guys, and hope everyone enjoys their weekend as well. We're going to be back on Monday for the next installment in the Breaking Bitcoin market update series, but for the time being, I think it's time to head to the exits. Final words to our analyst.
Trade safely, guys. I think we can at least wander up over the weekend, if not into next week. I'm certainly not looking to open up any shorts in this spot. And yeah, so that's it. Trade safely, guys.
Yeah, same with me. The weekend could be super volatile, but remember, usually that close, it's usually a wash for the weekend. I mean, we are getting some bullish activity, so it could be a different one. But at the same time, just keep that in mind.
Wonderful. Have a great weekend, guys. As Van Frick in the live chat says, just think about all the no coiners still not arriving at the party. Yeah, we're still early. We're the life of the party, nonetheless. Yeah, Bitcoin cresting over 47,800 right now. See you guys on Monday. Peace out.
Goodbye.